Namaste, dear yogi. Welcome to a new session of Yoga with Claire. And today, in this beautiful autumn jungle, I offer you a autumn Yin Yoga session. So this will be just a short Yin practice to get you in the mood of the season and activate the meridians according to Chinese traditional medicine. So join me on the mat, and we'll start with a little bit of very gentle active movement. So come onto your knees and hands on the waist. We'll start circling the waist and stretching, spiraling the spine a little bit. So take whatever space you need, and we'll move with the movement originating from the hips. So really the source of the energy is coming from the hips, and the rest of the spine and the body follows. So do whatever intuitive movement comes, and that will be also a good stretch for the front, thighs, and the psoas that comes all the way from the inside of your thighs up to your abdomen. And once that you've circled from the hips, we'll start switching the origin of the movement, and from now we will move the spine, but from the thoracic spine. So that means that you're really moving from your upper body, so rib cage, mid back, and try to move the whole spine in every direction with, as if your heart was leading, guiding the movement. Maybe you can place one hand on your heart to have more body awareness. And start really moving with your breath as well. Maybe the exhale comes out through the mouth. And gently we'll stop the movement and come to sit on our knees. Our heels. And from here, gently place your hands onto the ground, and we will come into our first posture called Anahata. So Anahata is also called puppy pose. The idea is to have knees, hips in one line, and we will melt the front body, the heart space onto the ground. So there are variations for the Yin Yoga version of it. So you can either place your head on top of a bolster. So if you have any big cushion or even a proper yoga bolster would be very nice. And you can place your hands on the ground, forehead onto the bolster. And if you want a little bit more engagement for the shoulders, you can also place the bolster like this, with both forearms onto the bolster and the forehead resting as well onto the bolster. So we'll stay here for a couple more minutes. Find your own version of the pose. And I will talk to you about Yin Yoga while you're holding the pose. Don't forget to breathe. And don't be at 100% version of this pose. So this is one of the main core principles of Yin Yoga. Never be at 100%, but rather 70% of the posture. So this shouldn't strain your body in any way. You should be able to release entirely, so you can release your fascia and relax the muscles. Keep breathing into your heart space, but also your armpits, and as well as your shoulder area. So this will activate one of the two main meridians of this season. So for the autumn, the element associated is metal and is linked to your lungs and to your big intestine. So by breathing onto your armpit and lung area, you're activating this lung meridian. And supporting the transition into a colder season. Keep breathing through the nose. And maybe exhaling gently through the mouth if necessary. And slowly on the next inhale, we will raise our head up and then raise our hearts up and use our hands to come back to tabletop position, and we will come directly into Sphinx. So one more time, walking your hands to the front, knees back. We will lay gently onto our belly, and from the toes all the way to the belly and diaphragm, your body is in contact with the ground, and your elbows and shoulders are in one line. So only your arms and upper body should be a little bit active in the way that you're not collapsing completely, but you still should be relaxed. You can plant your pubic bone, more into the ground. So trying really to push the ground with your pelvic area so that you're decompressing the lower back. And if you want a little bit more support, one more time, you can use a bolster or a block if you have yoga blocks as well, or any really big, comfortable object. And you can just lay your head onto it and maybe walk your elbows a little bit more front, so you have less engagement. Also maybe a little bit easier for the lower back if you have very sensitive lower back. And we will breathe in this posture. Feel the rib cage expanding in every direction. Your belly becoming wider onto the ground with each inhale. And then taking less space with each exhale. So this posture in Yin Yoga is actually not related to the lungs or big intestine, but rather to the kidneys. So the kidneys are the water element in your body. And the kidney area, so the lower back area, is also the place where you have your reserve of chi. Chi being the vital force, the vital energy of the body. And by supporting your kidneys, you are also activating your chi so that you can have better immune system. So that's also good for the season, with the colder days coming. Keep breathing, feeling the movement of your abdomen, even in the compression onto the ground. Keep breathing slowly through the nose. And on the next inhale, raise your head up and gently walk your hands towards you and use them to come back to tabletop. And then once again, we'll sit onto our heels in Vajrasana, hands onto the knees, straight spine. Maybe roll the shoulders 3 times back. Relax the shoulders, close your eyes, keeping the chin parallel to the ground. Maybe unarch your spine a little bit by bringing the navel a little bit closer to the spine. Enjoy this gentle transition. And then on the next inhale, we'll open our eyes and sit on one side, bringing your glutes to the ground. And then one front leg to 90 degrees. So maybe you want to bring your right leg to the front, keeping the knee in a 90 degree angle, and lifting your buttocks so that you can have a better contact with your sitting bones on the ground. The other leg is also, so this is 90 degree, the other leg is also 90 degree, keeping the knee as well at the same angle. Okay, really nice. Don't forget that you can always use either your mat folded or a scarf, a blanket to protect your knees, maybe under your knees, so that you can really have a lot of comfort. And this is deer pose. So in deer pose, you can also use a cushion because we will melt in a forward fold. So for more support, if you have a big bolster, you can just put the bolster vertically and support your forehead like this, and leaving the arms passive as well on each side of your body. And if you feel a little bit more flexy today, you can lower the bolster and allow your belly to drop in the direction of the ground. We'll stay here in a couple of minutes in each on each side. So relax here. This is also a good stretch for the whole hip area. If this is too much for the knee, you can also support your knees with your hands. Otherwise, just relax. And if you need to adapt the posture at any moment in the practice, just do it with very conscious, a lot of awareness in the body, in the movement. Slow, gentle movement. So this deer pose with a forward fold in Chinese traditional medicine allows you to activate the big intestine meridian, and as well as the digestive system by bringing a gentle compression. So you can see this posture as like a big cleanse, a big but gentle cleanse for the body. So focus on your breath, feeling the movement of the breath in the abdomen, lungs, feeling the belly going out on the inhale, lungs getting full of air, and on the exhale, empty your lungs, the belly goes back in, and imagine that with each exhale you are actually spreading this new oxygen into every organ, every part of the body. So inhale, take all the new oxygen in, and exhale, distribute this oxygen to your body. And on the next inhale, using your hands, lift your head up, bring yourselves up with your arms, and then bringing both knees up with feet on the ground. We can just relax a little bit and maybe move the knees from side to side to relax the hip a little bit, and then come onto the other side. So if you had the right leg, like me, to the front, now bring your left leg 90 degree, maybe lift the buttocks and the flesh, and keeping nice 90 degree angle. Using the bolster, let's come into forward fold. So adjust the posture to your needs. The posture should adapt to your body and not forcing the body to adapt to the posture. So once again, if your knees are sensitive, you can place one arm underneath, maybe one, you can roll your mat like this to protect. And really try to bring the lower abdomen, the belly, really releasing collapsing to the floor, so that you're really releasing the lower back area as well. So this has an effect on meridians, organs, but also muscles, ligaments. Very complete posture. One more time, only 70% of your capacity in the pose, so that you can come to the second principle of Yin Yoga, which is coming to stillness in the pose, holding the pose without movement. Some kind of pratyahara, like withdrawal of the senses, coming back inside. Focusing on the breath, which allows us to come to the third key principle of Yin Yoga, which is keeping the pose in some length of time, so at least a couple of minutes. Keep breathing here. Maybe you can feel your belly going out, even kissing your thigh on the inhale. And on the exhale, the belly goes back in, and you distribute the air to every part of your body. Feel the micro movement of the breath in the whole body. Rib cage, even armpits are becoming wider with the movements of your breath. And on the next inhale, very gently lift your head up and use your hands to walk yourselves back up. One more time, bringing both feet to the ground. Maybe twist the hips a little bit. And if you have a bolster, I really invite you, or if you don't have, maybe go get something. And I invite you to bring your knees onto the bolster and find your way into Shavasana, into a supported Shavasana for extra comfort and relaxation. So here I like to, move the hips a little bit from side to side to find optimum comfort. And hands and arms by your side, palms facing up. Relax the shoulders as well. Relax the neck, the face, keeping your eyes closed. Come to stillness. And we'll take 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. Inhaling all the way to your maximum capacity of the lungs. Really go to the end of your inhale and then exhale through the mouth, all the way to the end of your exhale. One more time. Inhale really slowly, really small amount of, like the airstream, is really thin. And same delicate exhale. The longer the inhale, the longer the exhale. One last time at your own pace. Inhale. And exhale. Relax your whole body. And if you'd like to stay a little longer in Shavasana, that's very welcome. Otherwise, I invite you to bring a little movement, maybe stretch like a cat after a nap. knees to chest. And slowly come onto one side in fetus pose. And then, keeping your eyes closed, bring yourself into sitting position with the same quality of presence. Nice, straight spine, shoulders relaxed, hands to the heart in Namaskar Mudra. Then rub your hands together, bringing a little bit of heat. And we'll close this practice with a little bit of self-massage, bringing your palms onto your face, like little cups covering your face. Then, with the tips of your fingers, start massaging your temples, forehead, maybe going down on the side to your jaw muscle. Keep massaging little circles with your fingers. And then go to your scalp. And you don't need to rub, really. Just try to make the skin of your scalp move a little bit. Gentle circles, maybe gentle compressions. And then go down to the nape of the neck. So at the back. I will show you from the side if you need to check. Otherwise, keep your eyes closed. And here you have these two lines from the bottom of your head, of your skull. And massage these two lines. This will massage also your nerves, relaxing your nervous system to the bottom of the neck. And then we will use our hands like, little claws. I mean, more like little, crab's hands, rather. And we will really massage, the two parts, your tendons, the neck muscles, like this, by pressing the side of your neck. And all the way down to your collarbone. And then we will hug ourselves by bringing opposite hand to opposite lung. So crossing your arms and putting your palms onto your lung area, lung and armpit area. So this is where the meridians go, your lungs and big intestine meridians. So with your eyes closed, I invite you to maybe massage gently here, or at least bring attention. So with your quality of presence, I invite you to bring your attention to this area so that you can support your body for the season of autumn that has started. Breathing deeply here, feeling the lungs and chest. Moving with the breath. And when you are ready, drop your hands onto your knees and blink your eyes gently, blinking your eyes open. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this practice. This was just a very short Yin Yoga class designed for YouTube. And if you wish to have a full Yin Yoga practice, I invite you to go to my Patreon page, maybe subscribe or send me a message. And we can tailor a class to your needs. Namaste.